It's a fucking intro. It's a fucking intro. I'm doing this temporarily until I get a new intro scene. It's a fucking intro. It's a fucking intro. It's a fucking intro. Now on with the main show.
Alright folks, yeah, I'm a few months late, I know. And I said the next one would be drinking, and I've made it. It's in the drive, but I got an interesting book the other day, and this has piqued my interest a lot more. It's called The Scots Kitchen. It was written by Fiona Marion McNeill. It's a book that's got a load of lore about Scottish traditions in cooking, and recipes I've never heard of. From the Highlands, even, that I think have possibly died out. Because a few of these are from the 17th century, 18th century. There's nothing later than the 19th century, I don't think, because it was originally written in 1929, so I don't think there's anything later than 1905 in here. And it goes back even to the 1600s, I think, because there's mention of old Scottish... Okay, all the ingredients are now chopped up and prepped. So it calls for 1 onion to be sliced, or 2 shallots. It calls for a kilo of potatoes, or as it says, 2 pound. 2 pounds of tatties, which is a kilo, give or take. And it calls for chicken. It doesn't say how much chicken, so I'm just going to play it by ear. I'm not too worried because I'm going to make a pad thai later with any leftover chicken. And we need 3 gills of water, which is roughly 420 milliliters. Give or take. Okay, so here's the thing. There's no cooking until everything's layered up. So we need to make a layer of chopped patties. Thank you, honey. So here we go. We're going to layer this out. It's not sliced, it says roughly chopped, which is what I've done. Roughly chopped just means not the same size. Chopped up, diced, whatever you want to... Well, it's not diced, but it's roughly chopped. Not every piece is the same size, which is fine. It's what it calls for. I'm now going to put on the seasoning that it calls for, so salt. And it's a tatty dish, so you can be quite heavy with the salt. The black pepper, in fact that's not quite done as a layer, is it? A couple more on. There we go. Black pepper. Again, it doesn't say how much, so just liberally season as to your taste, or what you're going to presume is your taste. It also asks for some butter to be liberally put on. So I've had this softening now out of the fridge for a day or two. And before anyone in the American South screams at that, perfectly fine in Scotland. Our weather isn't that bad, or isn't that good for the sun. So we don't have to worry about our butter going off too much. So it's saying be liberal, dot it liberally with butter. 1, 2. I was worried this was going to be flavourless because it's just salt, pepper, but the butter should add a lovely flavour. That's the fat for when it's cooking. That combined should do lovely. So I'd say that's a fair amount of butter in there. So I have to season each layer, so I probably put too much butter there. So now it's a layer of onion. Sliced onion in there. It's very difficult to read this recipe. I'm just going to salt. Okay, and do we put butter? Yeah, let's daub some butter on. I'm not going to put too much, just little bits here and there. Because it's already getting quite buttery. But then again, there's no such thing as too much butter in a good dish like this. Here comes the chicken, which I've just realised I've grabbed now with my washed hand. Of course, well, both my hands are washed, but you know what I mean. It's raw chicken. I'm not too worried about salmonella. Thankfully, in the UK, chickens they tend to be vaccinated. And this is free range chicken. Most chicken you buy in stores is free range. I'm going to need some more chicken. So it's not too bad. There we go. Before I do any seasoning, I'm going to wash my hands. Let's give this one a go. Okay, so seasoning time. Salt. Pepper. Butter. Dap, dap. Oh, there's going to be so much fat in this. It's going to taste absolutely luxurious, I imagine. And then repeat. I might not need more chicken. It's getting kind of full. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to fit much more in there. It's a hoot of a lot of salt and pepper going in here. It might be overly salty. But, no, the butter. The butter! Can't forget the butter. Woof, woof, woof. Woof, woof, woof. Woof, woof, woof. Jesus, there we go. I can only go on what the recipe tells me. And I'm going to stop layering here. Because I can't fit any more chicken in there. Voila, that's... I'm going to call that done. I'm not even putting more butter on there. There's enough in there. I'm going to pour in the three gills of water. To be honest, I prefer that if that was like stock or something. But go with what the recipe says. Wash my hands again. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. I can put more butter in. Fuck it. And the last of the chicken. There we go. Let's do that. What do you think, children? Perfect. Right. So now it's layered. And what we're going to do is put the lid on this, and then we're going to put it on the fire and simmer gently for 3 hours. Boom. Oop. Get in there. Boom. And we're going to let it simmer for 3 hours. So, we'll come back in 3 hours and see how this looks. I thought it might be plain, but that's a lot of seasoning between layers and a lot of butter. This could be quite lush. I guess we'll find out soon why it faded from memory as far as I'm aware. See you in 3 hours. Okay, 3 hours are up. Time to show the results. Couldn't get a good enough angle from the tripod. So this is it. Came out more stew-like, lot of water than I'm used to from Stovies. Don't know how it tastes. So we'll find that out. Now to find out how it tastes. It's a very yellow dish. Lots of beige, lots of white. Tatties are soft. Chicken's tender. It is falling apart in the bowl. Touch hot. How? Okay. The chicken, tender, soft, kind of flavourless. No, seriously, it's kind of flavourless. And you've seen how much seasoning I put in. I put a lot of salt and pepper into this. Nothing. But the tatties bring real flavour to it. The tatties are full of flavour. But I could improve on this. It's not bad. Does the job. What I'd probably do different is cook down. Oh, there's the black pepper. Cook down all the onions and caramelise them, and then take them out and layer the caramelised onions. I'd add some more flavouring. The salt and pepper, just not enough. It doesn't bring to the flavour. I'd have used chicken stock instead of water, and I'd definitely use less water. 3 gills is too much. 420 mils is way too much. You're looking at... I'd go with 1 gill, 120 mils. There's enough moisture in the potatoes over a 3-hour period with a closed lid to keep the cooking. Maybe 1.5 gills. Would I do anything to the chicken? Probably not. I'd rely on the seasoning between the flavours. I'd put in as a seasoning, keep the salt and pepper, a little bit of MSG, something to kick up the flavour, maybe some nutmeg, allspice. These are traditional Scottish, well, say traditional Scottish, they've been used in traditional Scottish cooking for centuries. Nutmeg, allspice, yeah, just something, even a little bit of cayenne pepper in one or two of the layers, just to give it something. It's very, I won't say bland, it's not bland, well the chicken is, it's just, there's something just not there. And I don't know if it's because my palate is possibly more refined than the Highlanders of old, or because this was apparently for weddings, like rural weddings in the Highlands. It's a popular dish, so I think I used too much water. It's just too much for how Stovies is normal. Sir? Ronnie! Ronnie! I'm speaking! Shut up! Shut up or I put you in your cage. I don't... Bugger off. Bugger off. So, I don't know. I definitely... Shut up! I definitely use chicken stock. I'd use less chicken stock. I'd add carrots. I'd add something to give it some colour. Shut up! So carrots would be the choice for colour possibly. Brown off the onions. Get something in there because just now it's yellow and pale. So I'm just going to add some fresh parsley to this, just to kick up something. And it looks better with the parsley, which I'll show you in a second. And I'm probably going to fire in some pepper, some cayenne pepper, or alright, you can't see this, but I can. I ain't finding this easy. In my spice rack. Might fire in some cayenne pepper or something like that. I got something here, yeah. I'm going to put chili flakes, some red chili flakes, as treat it like a ramen decoration type thing, topping. And it looks distinctly better with some green and red in there, which I'm going to show you now. So there you go. Some colour just changes the presentation. It doesn't change the flavour, but it changes the presentation for how it looks. And I think with my changes mentioned, this could be a really nice dish. It's just bland just now. And I think it's almost there. I can see why it kind of faded, to be honest. The clearances didn't help. And for those that don't know, the clearances were self-inflicted by greedy upper-class rich bastards who decided to turf out over 1 million Highlanders into Canada and Australia and etc. Well, I think it's about 600,000 odd Highlanders for the clearances. I'm not sure on the number, but it was a lot of people because entire towns were wiped out, and we lost a lot of that tradition. I'm glad something has preserved it. I think with some changes, this could be really nice. Anyway, that's me. See you later. Okay, now that I've had a few minutes to eat it, because it's my dinner tonight, it's kind of growing on me. It's still not, it's not bland. It's not, it's got flavour in there. It's kind of like eating a weird, it's kind of a weird chicken soup flavour to it. But it's growing on me. It's, I can see me making this again. Helps if I don't drop any of it. Yeah, that's growing on me. But I think the adjustments I mentioned would still make it better. So, with that in mind, let's do that. Let's make it better. Although, I'm going to be cooking this tomorrow. The better version tomorrow, not today, tonight, because it's 6 o'clock at night and yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. So jump cut to tomorrow! Okay, it's the next day. I actually enjoyed that dish. It was tastier than I said in the video yesterday. It just built up as a flavour over time rather than just hitting you in the face straight away. And it was enjoyable. I still want to make the version that I think could improve on that. So based on the Scots Kitchen, like chicken stovies, we're going to build up the flavour by using a stock cube or a bouillon cube, however you want to say it, instead of water. And we're going to add in some mixed spice. We're going to add in some ground nutmeg and basically the same thing, mace, which comes from nutmeg. It's a different part of the nutmeg. As well as salt and pepper for the seasonings. We'll keep the butter. These nutmeg, mace, mixed spice, they are traditionally used in Scottish cooking, so I want to keep that traditional flavour. And switching out the water for the chicken cube. Chicken stock will be an enhancement to the flavour. I'm also going to be adding in some carrot. I felt it was missing something like carrot. So I'm going to add it in as a layer. Yeah, and that's it. And of course we'll keep the usual chicken, potato and carrots. What I'm going to do with the carrots is I'm going to soften them and brown them. So I'm going to sweat them for about 10-15 minutes. Don't want them caramelised, just starting to. For the layers. I think that'll add a nice flavour to it. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is sweat slash slightly caramelise the onions. So stick them in. I use vegetable oil here. I think it's sunflower oil. Use sunflower oil, vegetable oil, not olive oil. I'm not Jamie fucking Oliver. Or butter, but we're going to have so much butter in this. Remember how much butter went into the seasoning layers? So I'm just going to let this cook on a low heat until they soften. Okay, we're at the point now where these onions have softened. The sugars are coming to the fore, so I'm going to take them out the pan and put them into a container. Using the slotted spoon so I can try and keep the fat in there. Oopsie daisy. Because that's now got flavoured with the onion. And then we're going to layer in the tatties. Come here, you. Helps if I don't miss. But yeah, they're softened, so this is the stage now that we're going to do with my improvement. There we go. May not look like much of an improvement, but it will be. I could barely taste the onion. Who knew why it was in there last night? Well, I know, because onion adds flavour. But yeah. There we go, one lot of onion. Cooked. And flung all over the place. So, because I've got an induction, that's me turned off the heat. So now I'm just going to do this. Add a layer of the roughly chopped, but vaguely equal size in this case. That's one of the improvements I made. So instead of rough chopping and having it all different sizes, this layer is now roughly the same size. Still rough chopped, but. And now we're going to add in the seasoning. I've already pre-mixed it. Mixture of the mace, the nutmeg, the allspice. I'm being liberal here between the layers. Adding in that. Back in with the onion. Because if you'll remember, we layer in, I might not have enough. No, that'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. There we go. Get that onion in there. Because I've got the carrots still to come, so we can have a mixed layer with the carrots. Yeah, maybe should have done 2 onions. 2 of my big onions. Sweated them down. So again, I realised what I forgot this time round. I forgot the butter. So I'm going to put in the butter layer. Just need to quickly cut it. Get a decent butter layer in there. Do it, and we're wanting carrots. Okay, next we add carrots, which I totally had to hand in my freezer and didn't have to spend 15 minutes hunting it down. Oh, Ronnie, move! Ah, he's a pain in the arse. Carrots. pre-chopped, pre-frozen by me. Admittedly stuck together like pains in the asses, but here we go. Oh, the things you do on camera when you fuck up. And as I said before, I always keep my fuck ups in. I should have prepared the carrots. I thought they were at the top of my freezer, but they're there now. Don't forget to season the carrots. Put in the butter. And now we get the chicken. Again, a mixture of thigh and drumstick. I'm just going to put it all in as a layer because I'm running out of room in this. I imagine the pots were bigger back in the day because look at this. Heavily season. And for those that don't know, mixed spices like cloves and stuff like that, generally. I'm going to put in the final layer. Potato. I forgot the butter again. It's fine. Put in the butter now. It's fine. Less butter, healthier, etc, etc. Blah de blah. Nonsense. Onion. So I'm just going to mix it in. It's not enough onion to make an entire layer by itself. Get that cooked onion in there. And then we're going to just heavily spice this. Let's better be recording. Because fuck it. Flavour is king, yo. So there we go. Got an extra bit of butter, why not? Because it is meant to have a fair amount of butter going by the recipe. Oops, got to clean that up now. And there we go. And now I just need to put on the lid and include the water. Well, the stock. So I'm going for 1.5 gills of stock, which is half the amount. And even then I'm not sure about that. I think that might be a bit much. But there we go. Start bringing that up to a boily simmer. Have a pain in the arse dog. It's done. It's 4 hours later. This smells good. Let's get this plated up and see how it tastes. So again, it's come out a bit more stew-like. Maybe reduce the water in the future. I put in 1.5 gills. Maybe take it down to half a gill of water. You don't need a lot of water for Stovies, to be honest. But I'm going to admit, it looks good. It looks pretty tasty. It smells nice. Let's see what this looks like when we get a taste. Okay, so my improvements. I added a mixture, generally about a dessert spoonful of each, of nutmeg, mace and mixed spice. Mixed spice is allspice, cloves, cardamom. Well, not cardamom. Allspice, cloves, coriander, cinnamon, all sorts of different flavours. Spices, it's a spice mix. I put a shitload of salt, a shitload of black pepper, and some allspice as well, also known as in older Scottish recipes as Jamaican pepper. And altogether it's made what looks to be a tasty stewed Thai dish with nice tender chicken and the carrots, and added carrots of course, and less liquid, and instead of water I used chicken stock. Let's see if we can get a decent bite. Oh yeah, instantly more flavour on the first bite. That is delicious. Chicken's tender. The sweetness from the carrots really adds something to this dish. Yeah, I really liked, after eating it, I realised I really liked the original version, because that was tasty. It just took a while for me to notice it was tasty. Bland at first, but then the spices, the seasoning kicked in as you were eating it, and it became delicious. This is delicious from the get-go. You're getting all that nutmeg and allspice in there, right at the forefront of each bite. I could eat this for days. And the warmth that comes from the pepper, and the allspice in there. Oh, delicious. Really delicious. If you're going to do this, I'd recommend trying it. Try the original. I'll put the recipes below. And then try it with my improvements. See what you prefer. I gotta say that this is a delicious deep meal. Either way. But with my improvements, with modern availability of ingredients, this is a winner. A really delicious winner. See you there.